Yes, the topic we have today is helping our children discover their own wings. We talked about how to raise the children independently, but now we also have to teach children how to fly on their own. You see that in the animal kingdom, all animals kind of nudging. It seems like they're torturing their young ones, but they're actually preparing them. You see birds plucking out the flowers or pushing the chicks as soon as they come out, to kind of go feed, or they do take care, but that's also having to make them independent. Somewhere our task is not just to protect the children, but also to make ourselves gradually unnecessary. We have to be present, but then we are not making decision for the children. We are not doing things for the children. It is definitely my instinct to protect as a child. I don't want my child to suffer. I want my child to do the best. We know they have potential, but then in that process of protecting them a little too much, we may be making them more dependent than necessary. See, in this process of making children independent, be on their own, try to take decisions on their own, we need to prepare them. It's not about me being absent, it's not about me being uninvolved. It is more that I should not become available to the children where children can help themselves, where children can do things for themselves. Of course, they learn by imitation. They look at me and they learn how they should tie their shoes or put the clothes away or arrange the books or bags, whatever, whatever. But then allowing the child to do it and not doing it for them is the most difficult task. Sometimes it's easier, quicker for us to just do it. I allow a child to carry a glass made of glass, and then child drops it. Then it's a pain for us to all clean up. We may get pricked and there's bleeding, whatnot. I would rather do it. Yes, maybe, but then the lesson learned when something breaks. I've seen adult children, a vase breaks and then they're just walking over it. They don't know that there could be these tiny pieces all over that could prick them. Right? We naturally build this environment where I will help, I will do, but then the challenge also for me is to know when to make that protective space a little challenging so the children can develop those skills. Because children primarily learn through living experiences. No amount of instruction, no amount of movies, no amount of talking to them. I have parents start telling me that, I tell this to my child. I tell them how healthy it is to eat vegetables. 3-year-old, they don't get it. 8-year-old doesn't get it. 14-year-old also does not get it. Because they're not discriminating food and they're not worried about health as much as we are, or because of the knowledge we have or our own experience. Right now I'm struggling with a back pain and that was because of vitamin some deficiency, and the doctors have told me, and now I know, I should have eaten them certain vitamins since I was 8-year-old, and now I'm imposing it on my child. That's not going to happen. Child is like a big sense organ, so they have to live and experience for them to acquire skills and know that certain skills are important to acquire. So I, as a parent, not only need to create this environment that is safe and secure, but also prepare children for the freedom. The purpose of protecting these children is so that children become strong enough. We develop the strength in them. We develop resilience in them. And that comes through the living experience we have together. I was watching a reel where there's a hiker who pays to get onto this hike, and every step she's struggling and blaming and panting and complaining and unable to move forward. But still, she says, "This is so beautiful." She reaches the summit and she's like, "This is heaven on earth." I mean, that process of getting there was definitely not easy, but the outcome is just that expansive universe before you. The skill is to go through this training of climbing the uphill. Same thing it is for children. We do not want children to be very obedient, very controlled, very dependent. We want them to be free. Again, free does not mean do whatever you want. Whenever, however, I leave my child free. Now I have one teacher telling me I'm a very gentle parent. I do gentle parenting and I want my children to do whatever. Sometimes whatever also includes hitting her, throwing things. That's not what we want. Freedom comes with responsibility, accountability. And I need to teach children that. That is again through we doing it together. Now that freedom is impossible when every problem is solved by me for the child. The child must experience, I can try, I can struggle, I can recover. I may fail, but I can recover. Somewhere I can do this has to come into the picture. Now, those are the first signs of developing that will. I mean, even according to neurology, the brain develops through challenge. And that's why people recommend with Alzheimer's and old age memory issues, doctors suggest do crossword puzzles, do sudokus, because they're challenging. Do things different ways. Rearrange the furniture. Try something with your left hand. Do something that is not a pattern that is set in the brain. And for children, I need to give them difficulties that are manageable. Take your plate to the sink, arrange your own books, pick your clothes for tomorrow, put things in the proper place. All of these are something children can do. That is when children begin to develop, plan for tomorrow morning. To school, 7 o'clock, bus comes at 6:55. I need to be ready by 6:30. Now I need to plan, sometimes backward, sometimes forward. One time you telling the child is not going to work again. The child has to experience failure. One time they may miss the bus, especially if the children are older, 8, 7, 8 years old. Let them miss. It's okay. Be prepared for it because that's a life lesson. They learn to control themselves. Regulation happens when I'm self-regulated. I'm not getting angry and upset and I'm not rushed. Children learn that co-regulation with me. They learn decision making. I need to plan my books, bag, pack it the previous night before I go to bed. I missed the bus today. Now, how do I make sure I do not miss it tomorrow? So only when they actually practice the skills are they going to develop independence, their own wings, so they can independently fly. And any parent who is solving problems never exercises, and there are never these neural pathways formed, because every experience that I do forms that connection between the neurons. Right? So there will be discomfort, definitely. I need to wait. I cannot put all my books in the bag the first time I sit on planning my day for tomorrow's school. I need to sit, I need to put the big books first and the little ones and then put the box or whatever. There needs to be that process. I, as a parent, must have patience to wait with the child. Try again, get frustrated. It's okay, but we'll put it. Let's try putting it in a different order. Maybe the bag is too small, maybe the bag is too big. Let's see how we can figure it out. Let the child also get bored. I should not be engaging them 100% all the time. Allow them to make mistakes, lots of mistakes, right? And Instant gratification is something we should be conscious of. Don't provide them instantly everything, solutions, ideas, toys, books. Let them wait. So if the child comes and says, tomorrow I need to take this to school because my teacher has told me, then put in a request to the school, give us 3 days advance notice. Right? Otherwise, we are all dancing on our toes and there is super stress happening. These experiences literally regulate the child's emotions. If I try to protect child from all frustrations, right? So when the real situations come up, children get overwhelmed. They get into panic attacks because they don't know how to manage, or they may totally withdraw. That's another reason why we are getting easily addicted to screens. Somewhere there should be this belief that I can handle what comes to me. I may not get perfect results, but I know who to go. I know who to talk to. My parents are present to help me out. This belief, it cannot be taught. It has to be experienced. Same with us. The first time I'm sent to some new city, new school, new setup, I'm like, I don't know how to get there. So there is kind of an apprehension. But the minute I've gone there several times, I'm like, oh, it's a breeze. I know it takes me 2 hours. I know where to get the bus, change the bus, take an auto, whatever that is. That confidence develops when I keep repeating. Right? So every human being has this innate capacity to know, to choose, to act rightly. That is they given. We have it. My role is to help child awaken this intelligence. It's like foundation. It's foundation of dignity, mutual respect. It's typically my fear as a parent. What if they fail? What if they cannot make it? What if they get hurt? What if they're unhappy? What if somebody dumps? What if teacher punishes them? It's all my fear. Let that be. It may be true. Let us go through it. Right? We don't want children to be fragile. We want them to be strong enough to face whatever comes to them. So let's not overprotect, and let's not give them premature independence also. Now we are ready, go do it. No. A child, according to Rudolf Steiner, stages of child development, a child is not completely adult or human being until 21 years of age. Until further maturity happens, it's another 21 years. So we truly become capable of being a human being by 42 years of age. And now I'm telling a child who can begin to walk and visit a neighbor or now you go buy milk and come. Of course, buying milk is not a problem, but child deciding for the change to be received and this and that is something little beyond the child. Maybe a 9-year-old can do, a 7-year-old is not there yet. And now a child challenged me and my ego is hurt. Now you said you will do everything on your own, cook on your own. That's not the way to handle. Right? That creates insecurity because then I'm telling child, you cannot assert, you cannot tell me your opinions, you have to follow my words. There should be this supported independence. That is how those wings develop. It is the presence of a parent. First, I do it for you. That's the environment I'm creating. Children look at me. I do it for you. I do it for others. I do it for everyone around. Child learns that I should also do it for myself. I should also do it for others. That environment exists. Then I do with you. Now I sweep, you mop, or you sweep, I mop. Let's clean this mess up together. Right? And then it is you do it. I'll be here. I'll give you the mop. I'll give you the broom. You do it. So many of us get stuck in the first stage. I want my child to study. I'll do it for you. I'll make coffee for you. I'll make bed for you. I'll make that for you. And then I'm frustrated end of the day. Oh my God, everything I need to do. Otherwise, some of us rush into the third one. Do it for yourself. Now you are grown up. You are 9 years old. you should be able to do. You're as tall as me, you're as big as me. No, there is a second step missing. I do with you. That is where it calls for a lot of patience from my side. Right? So every child arrives with those invisible wings, innate capacities. I need to be with them, help them experience, do it myself so I become worthy of imitation. I become a loving authority. Our job is not to carry them forever. Our job is to allow them to become who they're destined to become. Thank you.